Welcome back to the Hero You podcast. I am your host, Matt Hitt, and today we're diving into something real, something raw, relevant to every high achiever who's ever asked, how do I win at work without losing at home? This episode is built around the powerful truth. This episode was inspired by the verse in Matthew 6:24, no man can serve two masters. This verse really hit me differently this time. As I was reading this verse, it really got me thinking about how we often compare our life inside of work versus this verse really got me thinking about how often we pin our work life versus our work outside of our arena. And if you're anything like me, or any of the clients I've had, you have felt that pull between those two worlds. The world of your career and the world versus your family. And it feels like you're always being asked to sacrifice one for the other. But what if we've been taught to chase balance the wrong way? What if it's not about time, but it's about presence? And that's what I would like to talk about today. We live as if we're constantly stuck between these two arenas, the boardroom and the living room, the laptop and the dining room table, the performance zone and the personal zone. We treat them like enemies, like we have to choose. But as I read this verse this time, that no man can serve two masters, and applying it to the personal and workspace, it's not about guilt, it's about clarity. You cannot fully give your mind, heart, and your attention to two things at once. One will suffer. Imagine you have two cups, then you put them next to each other, and you pour water into the two cups. Well, both cups aren't going to be filled to the top. You're dividing your attention, and worst of all, you're going to get some that don't get into the cups at all, wasted energy. See, I used to think multitasking was my superpower, until I realized it was my greatest drain. People talk about work-life balance like it's an issue about time. But when you look at the time, if you work a 9 to 5, that's 8 hours plus a lunch, plus the commute, plus any errands that you hit along the way. The math just simply doesn't add up. So if your belief system about work-life balance is time, you're thinking about it all wrong. You're chasing something that you're never going to catch. And let's be honest, but there is such a thing as being fully present. It's not about how many hours you're home. It's about whether your heart is still at the office when your body is sitting at the dining room table. You've been there. I've been there. You've been with your family, but your brain is chasing an email you forgot to send. Or you're at work and your heart is thinking about, man, I miss being at home with my kids. It's presence over time every single time. I saw this incredible exercise with a high-performing business owner who was constantly on his phone, so much that his kids and his wife would always give him a hard time about it. So in this experiment, this business owner was driving behind a trailer. He was on his phone like he typically would be, right? We've all been there. But every 20 seconds, the trailer would drop a barrel. At first, he kept the conversation going. He could manage both, navigate the barrel hitting the road and driving around it. But then the barrels started dropping more frequently, faster, harder, unexpectedly. Suddenly, he wasn't even talking anymore, and he missed half the conversation. Eventually, he forgot what they were even discussing. That's what it's like when you are battling these two worlds and having them compete for your attention at the same time. Your brain is being pulled in one direction and it just can't process what's going on in the currents. Your brain is being pulled in directions and it just can't process. And just like that, you miss the moment. So what I would like to do is talk about different ways that we can help be more efficient in our day, limit distractions, maintain presence when it counts the most. The first thing I want to talk about is routines. Routines have a couple different functions. The first function is it gets your body in rhythm. And that rhythm is so important for your body. Your brain knows what's coming, your body's prepared for it, and it shifts the state as you shift routine. And that's something that is so important. A good routine is telling your brain, hey, it's safe to shut down work mode. It's time to show up here. Here are a few of my routines that help me detach from my work and shift into my home. Here are a few of mine. I listen to music that changes my state, gets me energized, and separates me from the grind of my work. Before I walk into the door, I take a deep breath and let it out, and I start to listen to things that are going on. That helps me bring myself back to the present moment. One of my favorite is I hug my wife when she walks in, or she hugs me when I walk in, and it allows us to just reset and realize that we are in a safe place and we are home now. These aren't just habits, they're transitions. They help us prepare for where we're meant to be right now. One of the things that helps me when I'm working is I block out time for distractions. I call them yellow light problems. Not urgent, not fire, but still important. So I block out between 2 and 3 every day just to resolve those distractions. Until then, I stay locked in. Red lights, sure, those need to be handled now. But yellow lights, I can handle those later so I can stay focused in the moment. Discipline isn't about being robotic. It's about giving the right energy to the right task at the right time. One of the things that helps you leave your work at work is you close the loop. Your mind does not like unresolved business. It doesn't like when things don't come to a conclusion. That's why we hate cliffhangers at the end of shows. So before I transition each day, I close the loop. I do a brain dump. Write down everything that's on my mind, things that I worked on that I didn't get to finish, or things that I need to prioritize the next day. And I write those top 3 priorities for that next day. And I clear my desk and I clear my mind. And if something pops up after you leave, I just write it down. I don't stew on it, don't spiral. I just write it down. And that way I have it for the next day. This allows me to close that loop. And I'm not worrying about things while I'm at home. You can't serve 2 masters, but you can serve one master really well in every moment that you choose presence. Let me leave you with this. Work-life balance isn't a scoreboard. It's not an 8 hours here, 8 hours there. It's rhythm. It's a dance. It's a decision. You don't need to serve both arenas at the same time. We need to honor them with presence, intention, and boundaries. At work, be all in. At home, be all in. That's what real balance looks like. Well, I want to thank you for listening to today's episode. If it resonates with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you're not chasing balance. You're creating it, one present moment at a time. Until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, keep fighting and keep grinding, and continue to unlock your hero within.